Lore Olympus has ended. So what's next? According to Rachel, 2 new projects. With this announcement, you would think there would be some cause for excitement, but apparently that's still not enough for some individuals. Day here, and welcome to my channel where I talk and draw about fandom/storytelling things. Y'all, it is so nice to be recording again. I am trying to be more consistent and upload regularly, but my 9 to 5 keeps snatching up my time, so we'll see how I overcome that. In the meantime, today I will be drawing my favorite Greek couple duo, Hades and Persephone. Yes, I know it's cliche. Everyone is probably over them because of Lore Olympus, but I'll be drawing my Hades and Persephone from my Fallen Pantheon book series. Don't worry, it's just about a girl who can see ghosts and moves to a new city where she is unable to find employment and gets tempted into helping a dead mobster's ghost find her killer. You know, Greek mythology stuff. You can purchase my book In Pharaoh's Edge on my daydaydoes.com website if you're curious to see what the heck this is all about. I will be performing today's art piece on my adorably still functioning 10.5-inch iPad. Had this baby since 2019, I think, and it's trying its best, but it's time I upgraded to something more my speed. Therefore, I am officially in the market to get a drawing display tablet. So if anyone has recommendations, spill the tea, please. I've actually always heard great things about Huion and how they're a fantastic competitor to Wacom. So if anyone else has a Huion display tablet, drop a comment about your experience. And if you don't have anything, tell me if the new Canvas Pro 24 4K looks like something that you would get, because it looks super impressive and it looks like it could get the job done, but I've never owned one. So any artists out there watching, please hook a sister up if you know or if you have experience with that. Like, I have been leaning towards it specifically, but Huion also has other great options too, like the Canvas Pro 19 or the Canvas Pro 16, and I'm pretty flexible, figuratively speaking, of course. So if you know, you know, and if you don't know, that's okay. Any hoodles, let me take your hand, you sparkling individual, and guide you through this art while we talk about what's been going on with Rachel Smythe. For those of you not in the know, Rachel Smythe, the creator of Lore Olympus, has officially ended the comic series back in May 11th of 2024 after a long 6-year run. What was once a hit popular series on WEBTOON and won Rachel 3 Eisner Awards, as was recently announced, so congratulations. Let's give credit where credit is due, everyone, even if some people would rather believe otherwise. Pretty much it's safe to say that Rachel Smythe has found a really good start to 2024. Now, despite mixed opinions on Lore Olympus' story and art, the ending seemed like a pretty good time for Rachel to take a break and recover from burnout before getting right into the swing of things. Or at least that's what would have been my plan. I'd probably take like a 6-month sabbatical and just relax before brainstorming any more ideas, because boy, do I know my constant flow of ideas just never stops. However, unlike me, it seems like Rachel has some ambitious plans in the works, because 2 months after finishing Lore Olympus, Rachel has announced something shocking. On Instagram recently, as well as this Cosmopolitan interview article, Rachel Smythe spoke about working on 2 new project ideas for future comics with Inklore. Inklore is an imprint of Random House Worlds that publishes the apparent best in manga, manhwa, webcomics, and graphic novels for adults, both young and young at heart. Which, by the way, how subtle of them to refer to us oldies as young at heart. Like, just keep it at adult, man. You ain't have to add all that. Anyhow, Rachel's posts are as follows. You can pause to read it yourself, but essentially, Rachel is planning to work on 2 new graphic novels, Eleanor's Deathbed and Patience in the Dark. Eleanor's Deathbed is about a socially isolated mortician's apprentice who has her quiet life turned upside down after an unlikely friendship with death entangles her in the politics of the gods. Sounds interesting and vastly different to Rachel's Lore Olympus series, but at the same time seems to have some similar elements, like, is she going to revisit the Greek pantheon, or will she work with a different mythos like Egyptian, Norse, Japanese? Choices. I'm not adverse to Rachel trying something different, especially when most mythologies are not closed practices and are a good opportunity for people to be exposed to and learn about. It is also good to remember that one's interpretation in media is not the be-all end-all and should not be taken as the final word of that mythos. But that's just my opinion. If you think differently, let me know. It's good to have a different perspective. Now, Rachel's second project project, Patience in the Dark, is a little more supernatural. It's about a grieving psychiatrist who is summoned by her estranged family, whose old secrets and new patients are not of this realm. As a sucker for some supernatural and writer of Dead People and Ghosts, as is evidenced by my In Furrow's Edge novel, I admit that I'm already setting up for the story because it has potential. Family mysteries and conspiracies sound like it could be a fun story. I know Rachel previously had projects before Lore Olympus that she had to put into the back burner once the series exploded in popularity. The Dr. Pepper Show is an example of a project she worked on that many people have claimed shows real love and support by Rachel. Like, apparently you can see the passion and care for this project compared to Lore Olympus. I couldn't tell you what the Dr. Pepper Show is about though, because I've tried to see what it is about and I can't find it. Maybe I'm just not good at researching, but there are posts online that have archived pieces of her work, so if you are interested, it's out there. So while Rachel's new projects could be an even bigger hot mess, I'm excited to see where she takes her stories, because it's all about the potential for me. Now, as I've noticed, while some people feel excitement towards Rachel's announcement, not everyone is confident with Rachel's storytelling ability, and that's entirely fair. There is some dissent that Rachel should focus on art alone and have someone else take charge of the writing. Others believe she should not touch the art because of the mess that happened in the latter half of her previous series. While I can't say I've seen the terribleness of Rachel's writing yet, just because I haven't finished reading Lore Olympus after all, rest assured that I will be making an ultimate review that will definitively establish, at least for me, whether her haters are right or if everything was blown out of proportion. Because I can understand some people having little faith in Rachel, as some plot and storytelling choices made weren't exactly the best from what I have heard. However, I am an advocate that we should try to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she'll disappoint us again, or maybe she'll do better without WEBTOON hovering over her shoulder and micromanaging. It certainly is a possibility. Also, can we talk about this tweet going around where allegedly Rachel complained that the Eisner Award wasn't getting enough attention? It certainly comes across bratty and entitled, because why complain about the Eisner Award getting enough coverage now and not previously? Like, will she do it again for others if she wins nothing? Who knows? But also, when I saw this make the rounds on social media, I had to study it a bit more, because this kind of looks like a fake tweet to me. And hear me out. From what I've known of Rachel, I've never seen her use any Twitter handle as anything but used Band-Aid. And she's always had some Lore Olympus image on her profile picture. Now, I'm not sure if this is a secondary account that I've yet to find or someone is trolling as her. And also, why is this cropped? Like, where are the other tweets next to it, and where's the information analytics for the tweet? You know, the likes, shares, bookmarks, views, etc. Like, see what I mean when I say this feels kind of sus to me? But who knows? If anyone else knows more information or can confirm that I'm not crazy or can confirm the tweet is legit, please let me know in the comments. But to bring it back, from what I've surveyed so far, it certainly seems like Rachel has potential in her writing if it allowed her to suddenly, explode in popularity and still keep a majority of readers to garner her several awards and accolades. Some people say it's all bot, which could be true, but again, I'd like to extend the benefit of the doubt. I know despite it all, there will be haters who will liken Rachel as a Colleen Hoover of her industry, which I think personally is a stretch, because there are nuances for both. Colleen Hoover more so, which I hope she has pointed out that the relationships in her books are not ideal and should not be emulated at all. But seriously, she's a whole other ballpark. Rachel, for whatever fault Hades and Persephone have as a couple, is not as bad as we'd like to think. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Criticism of a work is something that will always come with the territory, no matter how perfect. That's just the nature of creating content for the general public to consume, particularly if you are getting paid for it. It's all open to interpretation. Of course, I will admit that there are works out there that are just bad. Terrible takes, short-sighted, and ick pieces of media that feels like something that should have been revised several times and labeled as a personal work, not to be taken seriously by the general populace, or considered for prestigious awards or even monetized. But that's just me. So remember to have fun, and if you use your critical thinking skills like me when consuming media, that is always welcome in my book, okay? Don't be discouraged too much by people giving you some backlash for just having an opinion. It's always good to just have some criticism for an author, even if most people don't agree, but also be mindful that if it becomes too much, you want to let people also enjoy the media, because then, nobody wins, and that's not cool. Now, again, I will be reviewing Lore Olympus and really give it a fair critique to finally once and for all put the rumors of whether it's terrible and trash at rest. Plus, it'll be a nice response video to my Calm the Fuck Down video I made years back when the hate on the series felt like it was at an all-time high because of Lore Olympus' sudden explosion in mainstream media popularity. Seriously, it felt like Twilight all over again. I don't know how long that video will be because I do want to include the Read With Me segment for the first 3 chapters like last time, so again, we'll see how that goes. But stay tuned for that video. Also, one more thing, can I just geek out to you over Rachel Smythe's website? Because listen, I may be a stan for a lot of things, but one thing I'm especially obsessed over is a delicious personal website. I go nuts over a beautifully crafted website that fits the aesthetic or theme of the person or project who owns it, and Rachel is no exception. Her website looks so seamless and beautiful, just like her art style. The early chapters, for those of you with a little more discernment. I don't know, I just love how it all looks, the simplicity, straight to the point information, while also being visually stunning, like, woo! Alrighty, I'm finished. So thank you everyone for sticking around. My beautiful Hades and Persephone art will be posted on my daydaydoes.com website, as well as my Instagram, Pinterest, and you know what? My Twitter, or X, because why not? I barely use it, but I'm gonna try to be more consistent with it as well. So new month, new me. Thank you everyone for just sticking around, and until next time, cheers.